Okay, so picking up from the last video, what Saturn as ruler of Capricorn and the moon as ruler or parent of, each of them as parent or correspondences of the moon of Cancer and the planet Saturn of Capricorn are offering us, and it's containers for celebration and then containers for reconciliation. And as I was talking in the last video, that relates to the ways we see and hold ourselves and all the expansiveness of our souls, and then the way that we celebrate with others as well, the reconciliation within and then across the whole, and the holiness of both of those things. Okay, so next I'm going to draw cards for what the water and earth trines are offering to you too, Capricorn and Cancer here at equinox time. The earth trine carrying us from, summer here in the north, summer into fall, or in the south, of course, fall into, winter into spring. Okay, so it's the King of Pentacles. It's the King of Pentacles. So it's a renewal, because everything right now is about transfiguration. So it's a new way of holding kingship, holding authority and ability within our daily lives to make this world that has room, even if it's just the small world within you or the emanating out and in the structuring of the larger world for good works, and authentic authority, which no authentic authority is going to try to actually rule over anyone else. Authentic authority resides within. And the earth trine is helping us, and I talked about the two of you as really such carriers as cardinal signs, as like you are all about the grounding into the bringing down to earth, the carrying here on earth in our very cells of new measures of progression, and the cyclical nature, which needs to include rest. I talked about that in the last video. Anyway, okay, so it's a king. He is in his authority. He is in his grandeur. He is able to be here on earth making things. There's a home behind him, within the materiality, to shape. Okay, so as earth and water, within the materiality to shape our worlds and our lives, to make our living. And that earth trine is offering you a grace and support in that at this time. And that one just popped up for the water trine. I think I'll shuffle a bit more. And underneath I noticed we have the Five of Wands, which I read as stimuli, like external stimuli. And again, it's how we deal with that external and internal stimuli and come to a place of stasis, come to a place of wholeness, come to a place where we feel we can handle our lives, so we're not getting, we allow all emotions, and, there are things that we need to worry about and handle and deal with, but we allow those things not to define us, not to lodge in and define us, not to restrict our ability for gratitude and reconciliation. It goes pretty deep, because trauma can do that too, to keep us sort of stuck. Okay, the Ace of Swords, so a clarity and a heraldic vision. A heraldic vision, the water trine is offering to you. And so see how these can interact, these trines, to really help propel us, but that makes it sound a little possibly scary or harsh, but propel us or even just ease us into this reconciliation, this celebration, this joy that resides in our very cells, and this joy that resides on our very planet, despite all the traumas that we in our bodies have experienced, that we as souls have experienced, that the planet has experienced. There is a resounding joy, and it's here, and it's available to us. It is us. The greatest force in the universe is love. Okay, and then we have the little knight. No, I suppose it's the little page of pentacles here from the fire. Okay, so the earth is the king, and the earth trine, and then the fire element of fire is the little page, the little, non-binary human here, and not genderless, but as we all, a friend of mine always says, there are as many genders on earth as there are beings. As we all inhabit each archetype that we may fall into, each archetype that we may resonate with, that we all are able to, reconcile all of that within ourselves and define all of that for ourselves and carry all of that in our own gorgeous, idiosyncratic iteration. And so here, relating over to the king in the earth trine, grounding it, but this fiery, passionate, embodied intellect that, that is warm, that feeds on itself, that it continuously renews. I mean, obviously there are scary things about fire as well, and it can destroy, but look at this. I mean, this is like, okay, bringing this new embodiment of knowledge. And you think of our children coming, I always say the children, they come, in from outer space, they come in from the future, and they have so much to offer us. They, they are the renewal. Anyway, so that within yourself, but then also the graciousness of what younger generations can offer. And when you think of I'm going to read for the ancestral energies available to you in the next segment, but and for the energies of your descendants that are coming back to you. Anyway, so the passion of the passion and the kind of youthful exuberance of your embodied intelligence can serve you well at this time. Okay, and you have the magician. You have the magician as the mental imagination. Okay, offered from the air. I mean, we are conduits. Our bodies house energies and house ideas, and our hands and with our materials we create things. Okay. And here's justice, which relates to the reconciliation card. Okay, and that's here in our field of possibility and potential. Okay, and I'm going to, put these cards down somewhere over here. And I'm going to read what this moon is offering you, and then what your own element is offering you at this time. Okay, the moon. Our dear old moon, our dear companion, the moon. I'm going to draw one for the moon and one for Black Moon Lilith, who's unseen but helps the moon stay in position. Okay, so this one. I'm going to draw this is the deck that's most familiar to me. I've had it for a very long time. So this is the moon offers. Oh, these worries, this fret. This, there was a lot of emotion with that moon yesterday. I was having a bit of a time. But I said in the last video, I chose, instead of complaining, as I texted someone, I'm close to later in the day, instead of complaining as my typical way of, kind of like, or not the only way, but one usual way of trying to, know another and be known was through complaining or sorrow, and instead I chose to talk about something celebratory, and that's also offered by the moon here through you, Cancer, and the reconciliation through Saturn, through you, Capricorn, and then we got I drew from my least familiar deck, a deck that a friend just sent me randomly a few years ago, and that I only started using during this month of September, or with any sort of regularity. It used to be known as the deck that freaks me out, King of Lights. It came upside down. So I think it's another renewal, it's this offering from Black Moon Lilith. Black Moon Lilith sometimes is associated with, the repressed divine feminine, the shunned aspects of the feminine. And again, we're talking about a time of reconciliation. So it's this gorgeous King of Lights. So in a way, just the renewal of the divine feminine, or the renewal of any one part of a polarity, automatically will help the other part of the polarity become more true and more expansive and more joyous. Look at this, and it comes more easily. Okay, this may be familiar, or as familiar as our sweet moon, and this is a less familiar, but it's a great hopefulness. And this to me is emotions, and a lot of the ways, because emotions have been so repressed, but then you talk about hospitals and all sorts of asylums, and people freak out at the full moon, and and women on their periods, that's when they have, just before the period they have PMS, but also, there's research saying that that's when women are at their most creative too, women who are menstruating, who are still within that. So the moon holds our emotions, with the tides too.